Research problem should be very sound, because on the research problem, the grant is sanctioned or grant is given. Now, this research problem can be identified by various ways, or you can go through the literature. You can observe what are the problems are there in the community, and accordingly, you can review the basic concept and theories. If you have anything in your mind that I should work on this particular part, or I should prepare a proposal to bridge the gap or to identify or to solve this problem. So before going to write, you should have a good review of basic concept and theories. Now, what are basic concept and theories? Basic concept and theories are what? These are the knowledge. And keep in mind, the knowledge never change. It will be same. The change is the information. Information always going to change. So, where from you get the basic concept and theories? So, for that purpose, you read a good reference books. And from good reference book, you will get the concept and theories which are not going to change. If your concept is proper, if you are getting the material from this book is proper, then you carried out a comprehensive review of literature based on the concept. So आपने concept एक देख लिया कि ये concept पे मैं वर्क कर सकता हूं, पर आपको ये देखना है कि वो कंसेप्ट पे कितना काम हुआ है, लोगों ने क्यों नहीं किया है. अगर आप प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं तो अदर पीपल हैज आल्सो आइडेंटिफाई दैट प्रॉब्लम, बट व्हाई कुड दे शुड नॉट कम टू द सॉल्यूशन. तो उसको भी आपको ढूंढना है. तो फॉर दैट पर्पस यू कैन कैरी आउट द कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर. सो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर मीन्स दैट you can find out the work which has been carried out related to your concept in last 5 years. It doesn't mean that you can go for 20 years back, 25 years back. You can do the literature up to a 5 to 6 years, and whatever the research carried out, mostly you can read the research paper which is aligned with your concept. Then formulate the hypothesis and objective. So based on your concept, based on the identified gap, you can formulate the hypothesis, and you can prepare 2 to 3 sound objective on which you are going to work. Then you can identify co-investigator and collaborators. So co-investigator should be a knowledgeable person who knows the basic concept, who knows the biology, who knows the pathophysiology, who knows the methodology of what you are going. So you can choose such person as a co-investigator, and you can collaborate. Why collaborator is required? Because though you have make a concept, अभी आपने कंसेप्ट बनाया जिसमें आपको वेस्टर्न ब्लॉटिंग करना है, पर वो वेस्टर्न ब्लॉटिंग आपके कॉलेज में फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल नहीं है. तो आपको ऐसा कोलैबोरेटर सिलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा जिसके पास वेस्टर्न ब्लॉटिंग की फैसिलिटी है. अगर आप बोलोगे कि मेरे पास वेस्टर्न ब्लॉटिंग नहीं है इसलिए मैं ये नहीं करने वाला हूं, तो यू आर लूजिंग द इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ योर कंसेप्ट. आपका कंसेप्ट एनी हाउ इट शुड बी रीचेस टू द एंड पॉइंट. So for that purpose, you need a good collaborator for your research proposal. Now, protocol design, it is again a very important part. How will you start? Everything on paper is called as the protocol. Protocol includes everything. If the examiner is going to read your protocol, he or she will be very much clear after reading the protocol that what is your concept, for what you are going to do the research, what you want to fill the gap, what is the methodology, what types of studies you want to carry out, whether it is clinical studies, whether it is preclinical studies, what types of animal you are going to do, you're going to use. And in this case, when you are using some animal as well as the human being in your study, it is very important to mention that it is based on the approval from IAC committee or CCSA committee, because this is very important as far as the regulatory guidelines are concerned. Then experimental setup and additional requirement. Whatever experimental setup is available in your lab, considering your concept, considering your proposal, you can find out or list out that, and whatever additional requirements are there, that has to be find out, because in proposal also you are asking the funding for purchase of some instrument which are not there in your lab. So in that concern, you have to you should have a good list of instrument, and what you required, what are the additional instrument you are required. You can prepare the list of all these things. Then collect data and preliminary data. It is called as the proof of concept, which is very important in case of the research grant proposal. So data collection, whatever preliminary data is available related to your concept, that should be with you. You can organize that preliminary data in very proper way. And this preliminary data is also helpful to justify why you want to work on this particular uh, proposal. Then the last step, writing a proposal as per the format and guidelines and budgetary justification. We will discuss this part one by one in detail also. So once all the things are there with you, you can write a proposal. You can fill up the information into the formats as per the guideline given by this financial uh, organization. So nowadays, everything is online. You should prepare your proposal as a soft copy. And once the call is open, you can log into the site, and one by one, you can paste your material into that. So it is an online process. Then at the end, you can go through what you have included into each points under this online submission form, and then submit your proposal, which will be shown that it has been submitted successfully. So this is what a roadmap which you want to which you have to follow while preparing a research proposal grant. अब होता क्या है, कई बार रिसर्चर या स्टूडेंट को ऐसा लगता है कि when it will going to open, that time only I will start working on this research grant. No, dear friend, it takes lots of time. So whenever the call is open in material, but you can start working on these ideas right now, so that it will take sometime 1 year to generate a proper sound idea. And whenever the call is start, you can submit your proposal, because this is one of the reason why proposal get rejected. People says that we have submitted last year, we have submitted before that also, we are submitted this time also, but we are not getting any positive reply. तो reason ये है कि जो
We are facing some issue. We'll join soon. Wait for 5 minutes, sir. Will continue soon.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. The screen is visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Make it full screen.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So, uh, I think we will hear that successful submission of the proposals. Once you are confined with all the guidelines and everything, then you submit your proposal. Now, particularly, we are discussing with the one guideline, that is the ICMR guideline, because we are all from the medical fraternity. And ICMR, because last few days before, we have submitted one good proposal to ICMR, and now its opening is closed right now. So ICMR give the funding into the four core areas, and first is the discovery research. So discovery research, this is focuses on the generating proof of concept studies. So it is a preclinical validation of novel diagnostic and therapeutic modalities, including the identification of some biomarkers, some antibodies, vaccine candidates, drug targets, and novel molecules such as phytopharmaceutical receptors, activators, and inhibitors. So if you have such thing in your mind that we will go with the finding of this biomarker or antibiotic, so it will goes with the discovery type of the research. Then developmental research, which is aimed to find out the screening techniques, then diagnosis, prevention, treatment of disease condition, such types of areas. If you are having some ideas about this type of areas, then it goes under the developmental research. Then delivery research, it is for the implication of research to learn how to overcome the barriers in delivering effective interventions to the people who need them. So this is again one of the good area where people are trying to submit the research, and this will includes the health system based intervention to scale up the access and to successfully implement national health programs or scheme. So government of India has started various national health programs. So if your research, if your areas are in align with these government schemes or some health related programs, so you can go with this delivery type of the research. Then descriptive research, which aims to understand the disease or conditions, including its burden, risk factors, and determinants and pathogenesis mechanism will be funded. So if you have the any ideas related to this, including the national burden, then some risk factor for the disease, then its pathogenesis, you have the mechanism, this type of research are funded under the descriptive research. Now, ICMRs provided the grant into three main extramural grant types. So, extramural grants are always there with the ICMR. You can submit your proposal throughout the year. You can work on that. So, they are categorized this into the three main parts. First is the small grants, which provide the funding up to 2 crores rupees. Intermediate grants, which provides 2 to 8 crores. It is of 4-year duration. It is again 4-year duration. And Centers for Advanced Research, it provides 8 to 15 crores and the duration is 5 years duration. So the purpose of these three different types of extramural grants are also different, and this is best for different types of categories. So before going to write a proposal to ICMR, one should know in which the person or individual is fit, and accordingly they will apply for the grant. So small grants, the purpose is it is well circumcised time bound projects and with specific measurable objectives aligned with the ICMR priority. So ICMR has given some priorities areas. So we'll have a good knowledge of these priority areas, and based on that we'll prepare the project. And these small grants are best for the early career researchers, proof of concept studies, if you want to give the proof of concept studies, then single center projects and exploratory research. So expected outcomes from these projects are preliminary data for larger grants, publications, methodology, development. What is mean by this preliminary data for larger grants publication? So once you have completed a small grants, you are immediately eligible for apply for the intermediate grant. So this data will be helpful for getting the intermediate grant. So the purpose of intermediate grant is validation or evaluation of interventions with proven concept. So in this case, you have done something must stems from well-documented preliminary work. And this is best for established researcher. This is for early career researcher and this is for established researcher. Then multi-site studies is possible. Then clinical trials, if somebody wants to carry out the clinical trials. Then technology validation. In this grants is best for these types of process, and the expected outcome from these grants are you can get a good patent, commercial products. If you have developed some product, you can commercialize that product. Impactful publication, a good impact publication can be you can get from this type of work. Then last is Center for Advanced Research. This is 8 to 15 crores funding grants and it is a 5-year duration. The purpose is that advanced research by experienced team. So for application of this type of grants, a good experienced researcher is required. So advanced research by experienced team, single or multiple link projects will clear deliverability is required. This is the best for senior researcher with outstanding achievements because it is a requirement. A researcher should have a good biodata, good research profile. Then only he can apply it for this grant. Then multi-project programs, then creating lasting research infrastructure and training next generation about the research. And the outcome of this grant are establishment of CR, CAR, training personnel, sustainable research program, So this is about the different types of grants which are provided by ICMR, their purposes, and these are best for whom. Then what are the current priority disease and research areas for ICMR? So ICMR having this much vast areas in which you can write a proposal. First is the communicable diseases like One Health. It is a government initiative. Antimicrobial resistance, as you all know, this is a very big issues nowadays, antimicrobial resistance. Then tuberculosis, vector-borne diseases, respiratory infection, HIV, AIDS. So these are what some communicable diseases, the areas. Then some cross-cutting priorities are there, like aging and disabilities, oral health, climate change, and health. Some non-communicable diseases are there, like cancer. So you all know now the cancer is one of the leading cause of morbidities and mortality in world also. All types of cancers are included, early detection, then treatment, then post-treatment care. All these are included under this part. Cardiovascular diseases, it includes hypertension, stroke, preventive strategies, diabetes mellitus, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, then mental health. Now, this is a upcoming area, that is mental health, like depression, anxiety, integration, all these are there. Then chronic kidney diseases like early biomarker for detection of the kidney problem, then dialysis, transplantation, then chronic respiratory diseases like COPD, asthma, occupational lung diseases. Then national health priority are primary health care, then acute emergency care. Then under reproductive and children health, anemia and micronutrition deficiency. So this is a good area where the government gives the funding, because malnutrition is one of the biggest problem in rural areas. So if anyone having this ideas about the micronutrition deficiency and how to overcome this micronutrition deficiency, then have a good chance to get the project. Then childhood malnutrition, then neonatal mortality, early childhood development, then PCOS and endometriosis, then genetic disorders, and a special focus or implementation of research health system strengthening. So these are the currently priority diseases and areas which ICMR is considered. Now, what is research problem? How you can select the research problem? This is what my idea uh, on which I always work. So it is not necessary that you can follow the same. It is up to you that you can generate your own way of idea to find out the problem. So what is research problem? So here you can identify that the TB, leprosy, or this Kala Azar, these are the rare diseases, and this can be happen in the small population. And here, if you observe the low profit and potential, if Indian pharmaceutical company are considered, they will take the molecule which will give a huge amount to them. So, in their perspective, these are the rare diseases and small population. They will not get the profit from this type of work. But they are much more interested in diseases which are occurs in urban areas, common elements which has been occurs in huge population like cancer, type 2 diabetes mellitus, hypertension, depression, and all these things. But ICMR never discriminate between this rare disease as well as the common elements. If your concept is good, they will give the sanction your project in low profit potential also, as well as the high profit potential. Then alcoholism and smoking, these are also the community health challenges, and you can also write the project related to this alcoholism and smoking. This is again one of the area, and this is a very big challenge in India, because smoking can lead to various chronic type of the disorders, like from the asthma to the lung cancer and everything. Then identifying a drug target. So once you have identified a problem or the area, then it is the next part that you have to identify the target. So for target, we have discussed in the early slides that you have a good knowledge, conceptual knowledge for that particular diseases. So the target may be any type, like specific macromolecules, it may be the target, or your biological system, it may be the target which the drug will interact with. So this is a target. Sometimes this can happen through incidental observation also. So to get a drug target, to identify a macromolecule, again, your knowledge, or you can go through the review, which will give you the idea that which particular target is good for your project. So drug target may be specific biological system, it may be protein, it may be enzyme, it may be your DNA, it may be any neurotransmitter. Then once you have a good target in your hand, or this target molecule which could be heated by your drug. So there are various target candidates on which you have to do the good literature, like neurotransmitter, serotonin, acetylcholine, norepinephrine, dopamine. Neuromodulators are there, BDNF, nitric oxide. Then some hormones are there, insulin, oxytocin. Now it has been shown that oxytocin have various role in the body. Then some neuropeptides are there, NPY, NPS, relaxin. These are the target. Some targets are neurosteroids, amino acids like L-arginine. Then some biogenic amines like agmatine and other biogenic amines. So once you have identified the drug target, first you have what you have done, you have carried out, you have identified the research problem. So once you get the research problem, then you identify the drug target. Once you have identified the drug targets, then you go to the review of literature. So you have that drug target. Now you go with the extensive literature review related to that drug target as well as the pathology of that diseases. So it includes various steps like review basic concept and theories, as I told you in the previous slides, that you can go with the your reference book, good reference book, because they gives you the concept and theories which will not be going to change, which is a confirm theory which is required. Then after that you can go with the comprehensive literature review. So from that theory, once you know that, yes, this is possible, then you go with the comprehensive literature review. Comprehensive review literature, it includes that specifically related to your target, you can go with the literature review. And particularly you focus on the recent data, like last 5 years data. Suppose you have identified the 100 papers. From that, after reading, you come to know that only some papers are important for you. You can remove the research paper. You can remove the different types of articles. You can focus only on the research paper. So identify such 7 to 8 or 8 to 10 research paper which will serve your uh, problem and which have the high impact articles, means the information which is provided by these 10 to 12 research papers has to be useful. Then conduct the independent literature review from that 7 to 8 research paper, and you have to manage the time, and within that time you have to prepare your review. Once you have the ideas, the review of literature that will help to bridge the gap between this project. So from this literature, you come to know three things. First is what is known about your idea, what we understand, background and need of the study, what is unknown, what remain unclear, that is your gap, and novelty, how will you address this gap is the novelty. I think this part is understand by everyone. तो लिटरेचर से हमको ये पता चलेगा कि ऑलरेडी क्या अवेलेबल है, क्या हुआ है। फिर अननोन यानी गैप क्या है हमारे कंसेप्ट में, हमने जो सोचा है उसमें क्या नहीं हुआ है। तो इसमें काफी लिटरेचर करना पड़ेगा। जैसे आज हमको लगता है कि ये गैप है, तो इसके पहले भी कई साइंटिस्ट ने इसके बारे में सोचा होगा। फिर वो गैप सक्सेसफुल क्यों नहीं हुआ है, उसके नीचे क्या रीजन था, ये सारी स्टडी हमको डिटेल में करना पड़ेगा। एंड देन वी विल कम टू अ पार्ट दैट इज नॉवेल्टी, which is required for every research project. So you can find out what novelty you are doing in your project. Then gap in the literature, how will you identify the gap in the literature? First is the knowledge. As I told you, this is related to basic research. So knowledge, deep understanding of a field principle and established fact. So knowledge will give you the what is available at that moment. So you can from knowledge you can understand the concept, you can understand the principle. For example, we will add a prototype of example we are taken here. Space travel causes cognitive, muscular and metabolic impairment in the astronauts. So this is what the knowledge which is available in the book, which says that the space travel there causes the cognitive, muscular and metabolic impairment in the astronauts. This is knowledge which is not going to be changed. What is information? The information is that current research findings, trends, data and observation. These are the information which can be added, which can be modified, which can be changed. So the example in this case is that exercise releases exerkines like irisin and BDNF, improving muscle and brain function. So this information we are getting from this current research, current findings and current data which is available. Now next step is from these two, you can decide the gap. What is the gap? Gaps is that exercise mimetic molecules like irisin degrade rapidly and cannot be easily translated into therapeutics. So this is what the gap. अब आपको गैप पता चल गई कि ये मॉलिक्यूल है exercise mimetic molecules like irisin, they get degrades rapidly. So what is the novelty on which you are going to work? You can prepare the exosome drug delivery system. Exosome based delivery of exerkine for space medicine. This is what the novelty of your work. So from that you can prepare a hypothesis. Hypothesis is what? Predictive statement about the possible outcome of a research study. From that you can prepare your hypothesis, that is the predictive statement. This can be possible. They should be specified, clear, specific, clear and testable proposition. Your hypothesis should be like this. It should be specific, it should be clear and it should be testable in proposition, or should novel and convincing. So from this we have come to the hypothesis that exosome based delivery of irisin may mitigate microgravity, induce muscle and cognitive impairment by enhancing neuromuscular resilience. This is what the topic of my research grant project. So I go through the ideas, I go through the literature, I have done several things, and From that knowledge, from that concept, I come to this final title that I should work on this. So this is what the formulation of the hypothesis process. And then protocol design. This is a very important part because जैसे हमारे प्रोटोकॉल हम रिसर्च पेपर में या रिसर्च में बनाते हैं, उसी तरह यहाँ पे भी हमें प्रोटोकॉल डिजाइन करना है. बट ये प्रोटोकॉल जो है रिसर्च ग्रांट राइटिंग का, इसमें आपको ईच एंड एवरीथिंग यू हैव टू मेंशन. यू शुड नॉट लूज एनी ऑफ द पॉइंट. हो सकता है वो पॉइंट के कारण ही आपका प्रपोजल सैंक्शन नहीं हो रहा है. So care should be taken, optimum care should be taken while writing or while designing your proposal. So first is plan the study with clarity and reproducibility in mind as discussed. Develop standard operating procedure with detailed parameters. So you design your standard operating procedure. You can include, you can prepare the list of parameters which your biochemical parameters or your histopathology or all type of parameter. Even if you are going for the behavioral parameter, you should mention at what time you are going to check the body weight, which instrument you are going to use to check the body weight. Okay, what is the duration, what is the frequency to measure the body weight. These small points are required for protocol design. Then ensure regulatory compliance and validated animal models. If you are using animals models, then regulatory requirement is that it is approved. Your protocol should be approved with your IAC, with your clinical ethical committee. This is important. And validate animal models. So the models which you are choosing for this study, it should be validated. It should not be a newer model which are not validated. Then establish behavioral protocol and endpoint. Then conduct integrated pharmacokinetic and toxicological assessment, which is important. Perform biochemistry, histopathology, and immunohistology analysis, whichever is applicable as per your project. Analysis and interpret the data. It is a very important part. Which software you are going to use, which test you are going to apply, which analyze you are going to apply, how will you calculate these things. A detailed description about the analysis and interpretation is required. And then draw your conclusion and report findings. So these 8 parameters which are very crucial and which are very important for reproducibility and for conformity should be mentioned in very proper way while designing the protocol. Then when you are using the animal models, so it could be a strong translational validation, face validation, construction validation, and determination predictive validation is required. Some examples of validated models are, if you are using the genetic model, transgenic or knockout in rodents, you have to mention. Environmental models, chronic stress for depression. Pharmacological models, 6-OHDJ lesions for Parkinson disease. These are some valid models. So you can give these valid models. Then schematic representation of protocol design, it is very important. Instead of writing theoretical, you can give the schematic representation, and schematic representation is self understandable and it includes each and every part of your study as it is shown in the figure, that morphological assessment, purity assessment, then iris specific ELISA, then Western blotting, what parameters you are going to do, like cell viability, ROS determination, apoptosis, mitochondrial function, Western blotting, ELISA, immunohistochemistry. It should be represented in a very proper way. This is one way of representation. This is another way of representation where you can show what you are doing at different time interval and at different time interval, what types of parameters you are going to assess. A complete list, a detailed list of this parameter should be included in this protocol design. This is another one more type of presentation, representation. This is how you can show your protocol. Then role of control. This is very important to mention the role of control. Many people will not mention that role of control. They just provide that we are using the control animal, then we are going for the treatment, we are going to positive control. But what is the role? Because the control will provide you the baseline measurement. So it includes sham operated if it is the surgical model, vehicle control groups. Then use positive control, standard drug whenever it is applicable. Then apply baseline measurements before interventions and randomization of animal into group. So how will you carried out all these things? You should mention in your protocol. You should mention in your grant paper. So what is the control group? Include sham vehicle group, then baseline measurement before intervention, because this baseline measurement is very important to compare the results, to measure the different types of the results. Then randomization of animal into the group and scientific validation, which will reduces the bias, increases the reliability and ensure robust finding of your project. So this is an important part that whenever you put, you can give the explanation about the role of control. Then methodological consideration, because in every research, methodology is very important. It will help the researcher to reproduce the result. So in research grant also, the each and every point related to methodology should be included. The examiner will look into this part, and based on that they will reach to the conclusion regarding your project. So suppose behavioral data is there, locomotion, cognition, this is important. Physiological data, weight, temperature, food, water. Biochemical data, enzyme assay, oxidative stress markers, neurotransmitter level. Molecular and histological data like gene expression is there, protein expression is there, immunohistochemistry is there, microscopy is there. So the details about each and every things has to be included under the methodology. As I told that which types of animal, what parameter, when you are going to evaluate, at what time duration, what is the frequency, which parameter is observed by which way, which instruments you are going to use, what is the make and model of that instrument. So what is the feeding condition, how much calories the feed will be provided, what types of water you are going to be supplied to the animal. So each and everything should come under this methodology. Then collect behavioral data, measure the parameter, conduct biochemical assay. These are what pictorial things. Then confounding factors in preclinical studies. Some factor you have to consider while writing the protocol related to preclinical studies. Example like age of the animal, sex of the animal, whether female, male, genetic background, then hormonal cycle, because as we know, whenever we take the female animal, then hormonal cycle will interfere with various biochemical as well as the physiological parameter. Then environmental condition like housing, density, cage enrichment, temperature, noise, light, dark cycle. नॉर्मली हम जब रिसर्च पेपर भी लिखते हैं तभी ये सारी चीजें सोचते नहीं है कि हाउसिंग कंडीशन कैसे रहने वाली है, एनिमल की डेंसिटी कैसे रहने वाली है, एक केज में कितने एनिमल रहेंगे। पर जब हम प्रोटोकॉल लिखते हैं, एट दैट टाइम यू कैन राइट, दिस इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू राइट ईच एंड एवरी स्मॉल थिंग्स इन डिटेल. Nutritional diet composition, water quality, feeding schedule, injection accuracy, drug formulation, handling stress, then observer bias, subjective scoring of the behavior. So these are the parameters, these are the small things which we think that these are not that much important, but for writing a research proposal, you should incorporate these minor things into your projects. Then presentation of preliminary data. So primary importance, main and unexpected finding, use supplementary data for secondary, then organize with subheadings, then logical sequence and statistical analysis. So by taking this into consideration, you can prepare the preliminary data. Then clarity, precision, and persuasion while writing this protocol or this project. Everything is fine, but certain things are there which will reflect that you are not up to date, you are taking it casual while writing the projects. And what are the things which that are the do's and don'ts while writing the research proposal. So in this case, use simple, clear language, avoid jargons and complex sentences. People think that कि हमने अगर बहुत हाई फाई इंग्लिश में कुछ और एक्स्ट्रा डाल के लिखा तो प्रोजेक्ट जल्दी हो जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं है. It should be clear, it should be understandable, it should be in a simple words. Follow word limit strictly. Exceeding may lead to rejection. Now, just now I have submitted one ICMR project. So under every heading, they have given the word limit. You can put this concept up to 300 to 400 words. So strictly you can follow that word limit and prepare your concept under this word limit. Use active voice and present or future tense. This should study will. ओके काफी लोग ऐसे बताते हैं कि ये स्टडी हमने किया है. करने के बाद भी काफी लोग ऐसे बताते हैं कि हम करने वाले हैं. सो द नॉलेज ऑफ प्रेजेंट फ्यूचर टेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है तो यू कैन टेक द हेल्प ऑफ अदर पीपल हु इज कॉन्फिडेंट इन राइटिंग दिस. देन प्रूफ रीड मल्टीपल टाइम्स. अवॉइड स्पेलिंग, ग्रामर एंड फॉर्मेटिंग एरर्स. once you have prepared, you can read it several times, or you can show to the person who is confident, who is expert in that area, and ask them to read this protocol and raise some questions and discuss with him, your friends, your colleagues, discuss with them. Because when it goes under the eye of multiple people, it get refined and the chances of error is minimized. Then use structural abstract with clear subheadings. Then use vague statement, example, this study is important without justification. Include personally identifiable information in part A and use abbreviation without defining them first. So this last point is also applicable to our research paper also. Whenever you are writing the abbreviation, you can explain the complete abbreviation and then you can use the abbreviation. Then key consideration for successful grant application. Significance of the problem, it is the novelty and originality as I have discussed with you. Track record of the investigator is very important and team is important. Nowadays, many journals also asking that the co-author or corresponding author should have the impact factor of this, having the citation of this. So track record of the investigator is very important. आप अगर डायबिटीज में प्रोजेक्ट लिख रहे हो तो आपके इन्वेस्टिगेटर का भी डायबिटीज में काम होना जरूरी है. If they are from the other field which are not related to your project, it will also leads to the rejection of your project. Then finance, this is a very important part. Finance section, first year what we are going to utilize, second year what you are going to utilize, you have to give the proper finance. Then preliminary findings, pilot data which is available with you. Then approach, if the plan fails, what are the alternatives? This is very important. This is the hypothesis. You are planning, but it doesn't say that 100% you will achieve the goal. If in some cases, if you are fail, then what could be the alternative available with you? Then scientific research environment at the host institute, what are the facilities available at your institute and overall impact of the project. So all funding agency want to receive well presented protocol. Then investigator profile, it is very important. There is a one column or one page where they want the investigator profile. So it includes PI experience, expertise and qualifications, publications, completed or ongoing projects, any projects he or she has already completed from any type of the funding agencies like university or government agencies. More publication in international journals indexed by Scopus, Web of Science, and more citation. Help the researcher or faculty members to fetch the grants. Don't put the paper which are in the local journals. You can put the papers, mostly research paper, research publication, which are indexed in some good indexing level. The reviewer will be considered in early stage investigator or new investigator, then do they have appropriate experience and training? If established, then have they demonstrated an ongoing record of accomplishment that have advanced their field. So the reviewer will think in different angles why before sanctioning the project. Budget components under that manpower, SRF, GRF, you can include. They have the provision at different agencies. Then consumables, contingencies, then other costs, outsourcing, fabrication, testing, patent, all these are. Then domestic travels, then equipments proposed to be procured, list of equipments available with the parent institute. So the detail of these things are required under the budgetary components. So when you are writing the budgetary components, आपको अगर एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट लिखना है वहां पे, तो आप ऐसा वेग उसका कॉस्ट मत लिखिए. You take the quotation from the supplier, and as per the quotation, you put a cost which is appropriate. Then we'll just discuss in short, that is the what are the process. This is ICMR review process. Likewise, different funding agency, they have their own process of reviewing the project. So this gives the scores, and these scores are divided for different part, like background and rationale of the project, they give the 20 marks. Then possible impact, 20 marks. Novelty, innovation is there, 15 marks. Methodology, 30 marks. And implementation strategy, that is the 15 marks. So here, if you observe, the maximum marks is given to the methodology. That's why I told you, you can write each and every small things which you are going to be included, or which you are going to be used for the projects. So this is one part which is important. Then timeline is given for every protocol, every project. The release of call is there. Then submission of proposal is there. Don't go for the end date, because sometimes the site problem is there, network problem is there. So at least 4 to 5 days before, try to submit your protocol. Then review and selection process, proposal improvement is there, approval and release of funding is given. These are certain points you have to keep in mind. Then the part A is there, part B is there. As I told you, you can read everything. See here, the summary up to 500 words. So your summary should be less than 500 words or properly 500 words. Don't go for 600, 650. Likewise, everything is given. Abbreviation, 10 abbreviation is there. You can write only 10 abbreviation. Then under methodology, these points are given. Then part B is there. Part B, in that part B, you have to write the what is the preliminary work is available with these things. Then this is the format for short resume of PI and co-PI. This is the budgetary provision documents. So every uh, funding agency, they have their own norms, they have their own eligibility criteria, but the development of concept and writing the protocol is same for all the agencies. So whenever you want to write this proposal, always keep in mind that it should be novel and your concept should be very much proper. Then only there is a chances for getting this. So that's why in the beginning I said that it is quite interesting. Those people who are passionate for this research, they can write this protocol several times, whether they will accept it or they will reject it. But it is quite boring because once it is rejected, most of the people says that ये अपने बस की बात नहीं है या ये गवर्नमेंट वालों को ही देते हैं इसलिए हमें नहीं लिखना है, तो वो छोड़ देते हैं. तो इस तरह से ये नंबर ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो कम होते हैं एज कंसिडरिंग द रिसर्च पेपर एंड ऑल दिस थिंग. So this is all about the writing the research paper in concern with the ICMR. So I am here with I am very much thankful to the Sumandeep Vidyapeeth College of Pharmacy for arranging such types of seminars for the faculty as well as the students. Definitely, 100%. It is no candidate will take it 100%, but they can ignite this process in their mind that they should write the protocol and they have the capability to write the research proposal. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now, the participants who have any query can put up in the chat box, or you can directly ask from the resource person. So, any participants, you have any query, you can ask the speaker. Yes, anyone can ask. Yes, yes.
I have put my email
Hello.
ID in the chat box.
Yes, yes.
So better you can think over that. It is not
Yes.
hurry because writing a research protocol is a long process. If
Yes,
you
yes.
have any doubt, you can just put a mail on to me. I will definitely try to give you a probable answer.
I think
Good
one of
afternoon, sir.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I had a query on the you explained about the road map. In that, its number of point was collect the preliminary data.
Madam, you are not audible properly.
Elaborate it.
Proper.
Your voice is breaking.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Nikita ma'am.
Sir, am I audible or shall I write in the chat box?
It
Right, you can write.
Still breaking. Either you
Yeah.
write in the chat box or you can mail me.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, you have the mail ID. You can get from the chat box. सर ने डाला है अभी.
हाँ, मैंने अभी चैट बॉक्स में
Yes.
डाला है मेरा ईमेल आईडी.
Yes, sir.
नेटवर्क का इश्यू लगता है थोड़ा.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
ये शेयरिंग स्टॉप कर देता हूँ.
Yes, sir. Hello. हाँ sir. Now can we move forward, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your impactful insights for the seminar. The topic is research grant writing. I am hoping that many of the participants can get the inspiration and start writing. And if we have any doubt, surely we can ask you, we can get in contact with you, sir. So, on behalf of Department of Pharmacy and Sumandeep Vidyapeeth, I am here or feeling a great honor to deliver the vote of thanks. So, it is my privilege to express our heartful gratitude to the management of Sumandeep Vidyapeeth deemed to be university, and for their constant encouragement, support, and vision in promoting academic and professional development activities. We also extend our sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Registrar, Director of Student and Staff Welfare for their invaluable guidance and support in making this seminar a success. We are deeply grateful to the chairperson of the Student and Faculty Development Cell for encouragement and support extended for organizing this seminar. I am also express my sincere thanks to our respected principal, Dr. A.K. Seth sir, and head of the department, Dr. Rajesh Maheshwari sir, for continuous motivation and leadership. A special word of appreciation goes to our esteemed speakers and resource person, Dr. Raman sir, for sharing their valuable knowledge and insights and making this seminar enriching and inspiring for all the participants. I would also like to acknowledge the dedication and efforts of the seminar coordinator, whose meticulous planning and teamwork ensured the smooth conduct of this event. My sincere thanks to all the teaching and non-teaching staff members also. I also extend my gratitude to all the faculty members and research scholars and students for their enthusiastic participation and made this seminar a meaningful interactive. With this, I once again extend a sincere thanks to all who directly or indirectly contributed to the successful conduct for this seminar. And special thanks to Dr. Raman sir. A very thank you have spared such time for this valuable insights. Thank you so much, sir. Hello. Aman sir,
Yes,
am I
sir.
audible? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable insights
Okay.
and contribution. If we have any query and any of the participants is having any query, we will definitely in contact with you.
Yeah,
Ask
definitely.
you. Nikita ma'am, you can also mail your queries to sir. He can definitely revert to you.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much, all the participants, and our head of the department, Dr. A.K. Maheshwari sir, principal sir. Thank you so much, Aman sir. Now we can leave the
Okay.
meeting. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.